Now today, we're fortunate to have somebody with us who is one of the world's leading authorities on the use of digital technologies in medicine. Dr. Eric Topol is a renowned researcher and cardiologist. In his most recent book, The Creative Destruction of Medicine, predicts that digital technologies, supercharged by mobile, will catalyze what he describes as the biggest shakeup in the history of medicine. So let's welcome Chief Academic Officer of Scripps Health, Dr. Eric Topol. Eric, great to have you here with us. And I hear that your new book, The Creative Destruction of Medicine, is being released today here at CES.
Very exciting, very exciting. The reason I did the book and the reason I'm here at CES is because we're ready for a consumer healthcare revolution. The digital infrastructure that you've done at Qualcomm and the whole digital world is finally ready to invade medicine, that cocoon of medicine. And so we've got some great devices, first-of-a-kind devices, to show any naysayers or non-believers that we're moving in the right direction.
All right, let's check it out.
Okay, the first one is, as a cardiologist, kind of amazing, to be able to see your cardiogram, a patient's cardiogram, on your smartphone.
Yeah.
And so I'll just pull out my phone. This is a case that has two sensors on the back. You just make a circuit with your heart. And so it's called the Alive Core. It was invented by a cardiologist, Dr. David Alpert. And it's really pretty darn remarkable because you can get this cardiogram. I use it in clinic now all the time for my patients instead of a regular cardiogram.
Yeah.
But you see, I just put this on here and then put my fingers on the back, and you should hopefully see on the camera my cardiogram. Hey.
Now, I heard you use this for something amazing, though.
Yeah. Yeah, what's really kind of interesting is, you know, when you take it, then you can then just send it to your Facebook friends or your doctor or whatever you like. Now,
a new use for Facebook.
What I didn't anticipate that you're alluding to, Paul, is that when I was on a cross-country flight, and they call for a doctor on the plane for a passenger in the back.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that this person's having chest pain. That could be a lot of different things. But with this phone, I can make a diagnosis of a significant heart attack, which led to an emergency landing. And unfortunately, the fellow did very well. But who would ever have thought that having a cardiogram on a smartphone could do something like that?
Another life saved by mobile technology.
No. At least making the diagnosis.
All right.
And by the way, you can have a little credit card. You can just put it in your wallet that does the same thing. And this is the kind of thing where consumers, if they're dizzy, lightheaded, they have atrial fibrillation, which millions of people do, they can just take this out, send it to their doctor, or send it to get an automatic detection.
Amazing.
Okay, now we go from just having a heart rhythm, electrocardiogram. I've got all my vital signs. This is a kind of not a really fashion watch here, but it's a little big. But basically, it's the Visi from Sotera Wireless. And what you can see is it has the cardiogram on the top, the heart rate, and then this is the first non-invasive blood pressure ever, continuous, beat to beat. And now you see the blood pressure waveform. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
And you basically have a respiratory rate, oxygen in the bloodstream, temperature, all vital signs. Right here on your wrist, all non-invasive, every beat of the heart.
So that's like an ICU on your wrist.
ICU on the wrist is a good description, Paul. But what it can do, first step, is to change all the hospital beds to monitored beds, which, of course, most of them aren't, to make them like an ICU. But then, when it gets in the home and on the mobile front, what that basically sets up is looking at your phone, looking at your vital signs anytime. A culture of cyberchondriacs could be created.
Cyberchondriacs, okay. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah. But for the right people, of course, it can make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Now, there's another vital sign. You know, there's 400 million diabetics in the world, over 1 billion pre-diabetics. And one of the biggest problems is controlling blood sugars. And we've never had a way, you know, with finger sticks, about Telcare, I just can now get the finger sticks to the phone. We've never had continuous glucose going right to the phone until this Dexcom hyper innovation. And so I'm wearing one of these sensors that basically gets the glucose reading from under the skin. And what you can see here from this device, this is a smartphone that has a connect to, if I turn it up right side up, I'm going to just turn it on. And there's my glucose right at this moment.
Oh, wow, right on the home screen.
Every minute's getting glucose. And then besides that, I tap on that, and I can see my glucose. This is the trend for 3 hours. You can see that. I can go to 1 hour and 6 hours, 12 hours, you know, every single
see all
glucose.
Your meals there, right?
I shouldn't have eaten that muffin in the green room.
Right
no
there.
question. But the fact that you could see everything you're doing as far as your glucose right on your phone.
Incredible for a diabetic.
First of a kind. Really very striking. Okay. Now, today was a big announcement by Life Technologies in San Francisco at the concurrent JP Morgan conference.
Right.
They were able to show that you could sequence a human genome with 6 billion letters in 2 hours, instead of what it takes at least a week now, at a cost what will be way less than $1,000. It's a big step. And genomics is really the way we can individualize each person's biology. And this is a handheld genome analyzer by DNA Electronics. And what you can do with this is the drugs that we take, prescription medicines, $300 billion a year just in the US.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, at least a third of that is waste because there's not a matching up of the drug with the person. So here you can just put a saliva specimen that's loaded in here and punch this, hit ready, and you'll get the particular letter that matches up whether you're going to respond to the drug or whether you're going to have a terrible side effect with the drug. And so we just run the test. And this is just not looking at the whole sequence, but just one key letter.
Right.
And here you see in 3 seconds to 1 second, we have for Plavix the result, a very important drug. And you can see here the result of whether you should take Plavix or take a different drug. This is something that's really quite remarkable, and it's ready someday for your local drugstore while you wait to check that you will respond to the drug and you won't have a serious side effect.
So a new sensor that's going to go into my cell phone pretty soon. It's just going to take my DNA sequence, tell me which drugs I should take.
You got it.
All right. I like that.
That's where we're headed.
More
now.
stuff in the phone.
This is what we call really digitizing man. And I just want to tell you about something that we're doing at Scripps, which is, we've talked about wearable sensors, but this is an embedded sensor, a tiny nano sensor in the wrist or the finger. Now, we have recently come up with the gene signature for a heart attack. Yeah. Heart attacks just don't happen suddenly, even though they're the #1 killer. They actually occur at least a week or 2 weeks ahead of time. We can detect the cells that are sloughing off the artery that cause the heart attack, and that can talk to the nanosensor. And then you've got an app, a ringtone to your phone saying you're going to have a heart attack. Okay?
That's a call you don't want to be getting.
You don't want to get that one. And by the same token, juvenile immune-mediated diabetes, it takes 5 years.
Yeah.
We have a molecular signature for that before the pancreas is destroyed. This is our best chance to prevent type 1 diabetes. So these are the combinations of embedded sensors with smartphones and mobile wireless devices. It really is about digitization of man. It really sets up this creative destruction, this radical transformation through innovation. So it's such an exciting time in medicine.
That is amazing stuff. So thanks for making a house call with us today here at CES. Dr. Eric Topol.